Home labbing is by far my most expensive hobby and by far like my only hobby, so I figured I should share some of that joy with you guys and maybe give you guys a quick tour of my 2025 home lab so we can look back in the future and look at how much we have grown. But before I do that, I figured I should actually kind of explain the premise of a home lab. So if you go on Reddit because you don't have a life and you go to the home lab subreddit, you're going to see a ton of different things people have done. You have mini PCs, you have a ton of server grade hardware, you have all these different categories of computers, and you can get very intimidated and be like, yo, all I have is this shrimpy Dell Optiplex, and my friends, that is good enough for most needs, unless you're running some crazy stuff, which I'm not. And I think home labbing is one of the best things you can get into if you want to get into the IT field or just experiment with computers, because it presents so many opportunities to learn. And as you all know, life is study. All you have to do during life is study, be a student of life, because that is how you grow as an individual and grow your brain. So without further ado, let's start the tour. So now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of our home lab. So we're going to start at the very bottom. How do we get internet? Now, that would be the job of our modem, which is a Cox ISP router turned into bridge mode. So it basically acts as a modem, aka just gives us internet. And with that power, we have decided to create our own router if you watch my other video. And we have an AUStar N1 Pro mini PC with 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, an Intel N100 processor running as a router using OpenSense. It does all our routing stuff, DHCP, everything like that. And connected to our router, we have the cheapest TP-Link switch that supported VLANs. And then connected to this switch, this is where we get the real juicy stuff. I mean, it is absolutely voluptuous and scrumptious. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most overkill HP Elite Desk 705 G4 Proxmox mini PC cluster. And what makes this thing overkill? So first of all, we have 3 of them, and quite frankly speaking, I spent way too much money on this because I could run all the services I run on one of these nodes, no problem, but I decided to get 3 for no reason. Now, what makes these things so overkill for my needs? Number 1, the CPU. It is by far one of the best bang for the buck mini PC CPUs I saw at this price range. It is the Ryzen 5 Pro 2400 GE with 35 watt TDP. It can boost up to like 3.4 gigahertz. It is absolutely insane, and I love it very much because it gives us amazing idle wattages at like 13 watts per unit, which is pretty good. And then each of these nodes also has 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is extremely overkill. Combined, we have basically 100 gigabytes of RAM for like 5 different resources, which could run on like 8 gigabytes of RAM. It is by far the most overkill thing, which is why I need you to take a break, comment down things I should do, and I will make a video on them because I need ideas. I feel bad wasting all this money and not even using the resources I have. They each have a boot drive, which is just a 2.5-inch SSD running Proxmox. And then we also have the Gen 4 1TB NVMe SSD, even though they only support 3rd gen, running as the VM storage and everything. And if we take a quick little detour to our storage, you cannot have a home lab without having some sort of NAS. Because you know, if you're going to be hosting all these different amounts of VMs, you're going to need a beefy amount of storage to keep backups, to keep snapshots, to keep everything you want. And hey, if you just want to back random files up, go ahead. You need storage. And for that, I decided to look for a wizard. And I was in luck. Because one Saturday morning, I was out there looking for PC parts, and then I see this sign that says Crazy Wizard Garage Sale. I'm like, what is this? Then I go up there. The dude is selling this NAS for 20 bucks. It had a 4TB hard drive in it. I think he forgot to take it out. And then I just stuck another 4TB hard drive in it, and boom, we are running in RAID 1, and we have data redundancy just in case anything happens. And boom, ladies and gentlemen, that is by far my overkill mini PC Proxmox cluster. And I just figured we should also talk about the money. How much did this cost, and should you do it? I can answer the second question for you. Don't do it. You should definitely do some more research before I did. But hey, if you want to copy me, go ahead. I give you permission. So first, I feel like we should just go in order. I'm going to go real quickly because I don't want to edit all this. But basically, our ISP modem was free. A UStar N1 Pro mini PC was about 150 bucks. Switch was about 30 bucks. The NAS was 20 bucks. 4TB hard drive was another 40. And the mini PCs were 100 each. Then I spent 150 on the RAM. Then I spent another 150 on the storage. I also forgot to include this, but for our wireless access, I have 2 Deco S4s that are around the house and act as wireless access points So those were also like 90 bucks. So combined, we have a total value of $930, including tax. That's pretty much $1,000. Was this the most effective use of $1,000 for a home lab? Absolutely not. Looking back, there is so much we could do, but it is too late, and I bought all of this stuff a few years ago. So maybe I got a good deal. I don't know. You be the judge. But also, I just want to talk about the sheer amount of services I'm running. It's not a lot. I'm running a Tailscale exit node just for VPN access because WireGuard was too hard. I also have a Windows 10 VM. I think I have a Ubuntu server VM for Docker containers. And then I also have a bunch of LXC containers which run AdGuard Home, a Tailscale exit node, and my most prized possession of all time has to be my SyncThing setup. It is absolutely crazy what the SyncThing team did. They get no praise. They've created the best file synchronizing service I've ever used. You should use it. Please glaze them. They are so worthy of it, I promise you. Real quick before I end the video off, I figured I should actually talk about the energy cost. How much does all of this stuff use? And for our main home lab, that stuff uses around 80 watts idle, so it can go up. And I figured I should actually crank these numbers and see how much it costs my parents because I don't pay bills. So now you see, ladies and gentlemen, this costs a whopping $10 per month. Smash that like button so it can get monetized. But hypothetically, this could go up to around like 200 watts. So if we use that logic, it costs around $25 a month, but it really never reaches that point. So boom, if you're interested, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. But that was about it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any suggestions as to, future video ideas or whatever, leave them down below. If you thought this was the worst video you've ever seen, leave it down below. If you have some ideas for things I should look into, leave it down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Adios.